Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you all. This is great. We're like 35 strong, taking the reins on a random Wednesday to come in and do the work. This is the work that heals the world. I really do believe healing, inner healing, is the most radical form of activism you could possibly do in an age like the one we're living in now, where you can't even tell what's up in terms of information. Deep fakes are everywhere. Everybody lies to everybody. So go inside and heal your little corner of the world, and then let that ripple out into the corners near you and the corners near them. And on and on and on it goes until the world starts to heal. So keep being an activist by going inside and doing self-love. Self-love is the most selfless thing you could ever do, ever, ever, ever do. It's counterintuitive, but it's the truth, according to the cosmology of Brian Hogan. That's me. Thanks, Isabel. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're going to give it another 90 seconds. They do say 90 seconds is about the shelf life of an emotion. So if you're feeling impatient now, as you wait these 90 seconds, don't add a story to it. And by the time the 90 seconds is over, that emotion will be over too. That's the beautiful thing about emotions. They come, but they're visitors. They're not trying to be squatters. We make them squatters by saying, let me tuck you in with this story. Don't ever go anywhere again. I have this story that matches you perfectly. I'm going to tuck you in here on my couch. I have handcuffs that match too, and they're a belief system. Do you want to put those on? And then the emotions just stay trapped forever. I was just trying to pass through. So we're going to let them visit and pass through tonight. Okay, about 30 more seconds. Yeah, the best thing you can do for the universe is heal yourself. Yes, Camille, yes, that's right. Preaching to the choir. I love that. It's exactly it. Yeah. Somebody has a picture of the galaxy I see as their background. I love that too because we like all of the universe is a fractal, as above, so below, as within, so without. So whatever little tumult we can heal inside of our heart is going to be reflected as a little bit less tumult in the world. Even if we can't tell, we can't see where it changed. It changed because we live in a fractal reality. Okay, so with that, let's dive in. It is 3 minutes after the hour. Thank you, everybody, for being so patient. I'm so excited to be part of this capping circle with you. And as I've been putting in the chat a couple times, today's topic is treating your emotions like friends because they are. They really, really, really are. And I know that's hard to believe because sometimes they're wildly unpleasant, but they are our friends. And the more we treat them like friends, like welcome visitors, the more functional the process of being with our emotions can be. So let me start with this. My name is Brian Hogan. I'm a life coach, I'm a filmmaker, and I'm a clinical therapist. And all of those things go together in the form of they're all about storytelling, whether it's the stories we tell inside of our head or the stories we go in to escape the stories from inside of our head. Either way, it's a form of storytelling. I've been fascinated by human behavior all my life, which is why I love movies and TV. And it's why I eventually became a life coach and clinical therapist as well. So that's a little bit about me. And tonight, as I've been saying in a little bit of a preamble for everyone who was hanging out before 6, we are going to talk tonight about something that maybe seems counterintuitive, but that is how to treat our emotions like friends. And so let me just, yeah, here we go. Okay, here's the thing. We are taught oftentimes that we need to get past tricky emotions, that we really should, in fact, we should get past them as quick as we can. We should avoid them. We should suppress them. We should talk ourselves out of them or bite the proverbial stiff upper lip. But that's not really the best method. The emotions aren't actually the problem. They're just trying to do a job, and we keep slamming the door in their face. So here's the thing. You don't actually need to figure out your emotions. That might surprise you because a lot of us tend to analyze, why am I feeling this way? What is this connected to? I'm a therapist, so that's how I make a living sometimes. And yet it's still not strictly necessary in order to heal. And I will talk myself out of a job happily to get at the truth of what we're supposed to do with our emotions, which is just to feel them. So sometimes trying to figure them out is actually another trick. It gives us the ability to avoid. So your mind is chewing on something. Oh, what is this all about? and that's giving you the chance to not sit with it fully, to not feel it deeply. So you don't actually need to solve it. We need to let them move around. Emotions are meant to come to their full expression. It's like a wave that rises and then falls again if we allow it. Coming to their full expression is actually their destiny. It's like that's what they are meant to do. You don't want to stop something from reaching its destiny, right? That includes your emotions. So we want to let them come to their full expression as much as it feels safe. So keep in mind that you want to stay safe as you're doing this. So when we treat emotions like friends, we're basically saying, hey, I'm not going to interrogate you. I'm not going to tell you to go away. I'm just going to sit with you. I'm going to listen. I'm going to see what you have to say. And then once they've been heard, they tend to dissipate on their own. There's neuroscience behind this too. I was talking in the preamble about the 90-second thing, and it's a physiological process. Every emotion is connected to a chemical like squirt in the brain, and that whole thing takes about 90 seconds to go through you. But then when you add a story and you say, oh, well, that shouldn't have happened to me, then you kick anger all over again. So then the first 90 seconds gets kicked up by this story, and then you do it for 90 seconds again, and then more stories, and suddenly you're angry all day or whatever it is. So we want to allow, but allowing in absence of the story. And that's where the tapping is going to come in a few minutes here. So really briefly, I had an ankle surgery a couple weeks ago, couple months ago, and it was waves of emotion. And I was doing a podcast episode on this very subject the following week. And so it was like this great practice ground for me because I just wanted to sit there stewing in my emotions. But for the 3 days before the podcast episode, I was like, oh, well, I guess I have to befriend them because you got to live it to give it, right? So I was like, okay, anger, welcome. It's so good to see you. Tell me everything. And it had a lot to say. And as I allowed, it started to turn into sadness. And I was like, oh, hi, sadness. I see you. You come in too. You come in too. And allowing. And so the analogy here is like, think of emotions the way you would treat an unexpected visitor at the door. Maybe an unexpected visitor at the door back in the 90s before it was like really scary to have an unexpected visitor at the door, right? And so they knock and you open the door and they say, I have something really, really important to tell you. And you say, I don't want to hear it. And you slam the door in their face. Here's what's going to happen. That friend rather is probably never going to come back again to see you. But and so you really don't want to do that with joy. But if they do come back, they're going to come back with more intensity. Like if you slam the door in somebody's face and they really feel like getting through, then they're going to be banging on the door, right? The next time they're going to bring a buddy. So if you slam the door on fear, then fear and worry and anxiety are all going to show up and be like, "La da sir." So instead we will just let them in. And think of the things that you would do when you let in a friend. Literally, you let them in and you say, oh my gosh, let me make you comfortable. You've been through so much. Here, sit. Tell me everything. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome. You can stay. You can stay. And then your friend relaxes and they start to feel comforted and they start to feel softer. That exact process is true for our emotions too. Deeply, deeply true for our emotions too. So tonight, we're going to take that from concept to experience, and we're going to meet the 5 primary human emotions. For a long time, researchers thought there were 4: mad, sad, glad, and scared. And it turns out in the last 25 years, we discovered that curiosity is also one of the 5 primary basic emotions. So we're going to meet all 5 tonight: mad, sad, glad, scared, and curious. Each one has a role, each one has a function. But instead of managing or analyzing them, we're just going to meet them like guests at the door. And we'll tap through with each one. We're going to listen to what they have to say. And then we're going to finish by gathering back together into our self energy, which is the true, deep, undamaged, undamageable core of peace at the center of who you are that can hold all of this. So one caveat, as we're doing this, we're going to go through an exploration of our emotions. You're in an individual space, in a different spot than me, right? So be personally responsible. You are the one who has the ability to respond to you in a situation where you are. So make sure that as I prompt you to think of something that's going to make you angry or think of something that's going to make you sad, you pick something in the smaller mid-range that you can really hold today with grace and ease and kindness in the communal space that you're in, okay? And then we're going to go in and we're going to come back out. We're going to do this with each emotion. So you're going to get a really visceral felt sense of what it's like to be inside your nervous system while you feel safe and calm with tapping. The last thing I want to add before we jump in is each emotion sort of belongs to something, or it's signaling something specific. So anger is oftentimes a signal that you need some kind of justice, or at least that you interpret that you do. Sadness is a sign that you need belonging and possibly time. Fear, scared, which in our for our purposes tonight, that's going to be anxiety, not fear, because fear is a gift that keeps you alive. But anxiety is that same gift when it doesn't shut off and there's nothing else around that's trying to hurt you or whatever. So anxiety, and what anxiety needs is a felt sense of safety. So anger needs justice, sadness needs belonging, anxiety needs a felt sense of safety. Curiosity needs to explore, and ideally it would explore playfully. And then joy is different. Joy is different than the way the rest of them go. Joy doesn't have a need per se. Joy has a nature. And the nature of joy is to spread. And so you don't actually have to like meet the need for joy. Once you're feeling joy, it will just naturally want to spread. And all you have to do is get out of the way and allow your joy to spread. Spread to inside of you, spread to other people, spread, 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 spread. Okay, so before we dive in, does anybody have any questions? If anyone yes, oh my gosh, Richard, the guest house by Rumi absolutely is a beautiful example of this. In fact, I'm so glad that you put that there. I'm just gonna read it. This is Rumi, he's an ancient Sufi mystic poet from like a long time ago, but this is so wise. And this poem that Richard that you put in here, thank you so much, is really what inspired this topic even when I did it months ago. So this is so apt and synchronistic that you threw this here. Being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows, who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them all at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Yeah. And whatever your cosmology is, however you want to frame that beyond can simply just be your neocortex, or that beyond can be the realm of all source and intelligence, or some specific deity that you love and admire. It doesn't really matter. But that's beautiful. So this is an open space here, so I just want to allow a few moments. If anyone has any questions or comments, we can keep that brief. But if anyone has anything they want to ask or share really briefly before we dive into the tapping circle itself, you can raise your hand or you can throw it in the chat. This is optional. There's no pressure for anyone to share or to ask a question, but I want to leave space. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So I will leave time for questions at the end. So don't worry if you were halfway ready and now you're like, oh shoot, we're starting. It's okay. You can ask. So don't worry. So what I'd like everybody to do is just find a comfortable position and ground however it is for you to ground, putting your feet firmly on the floor, or if you want to sit cross-legged, and then putting your hands on your heart and just take a nice deep breath. Don't change it. Just tune into it. Whatever normal depth it wants to be right now. With your next breath, just take the deepest breath you've taken so far today. You can't get this wrong. Because we're about to take an emotional journey. It's not about forcing anything. It's just about allowing. Only as much as you can handle today. So we're going to make an agreement. And the agreement that we make for today is that our best is good enough for tonight. Whatever capacity we show up with to feel these emotions, it's good enough. So on the side of your hand, even though I might feel uncertain about what's inside me, I trust myself to go only as deep as I can today. Even though part of me wants to resist feeling, I honor that protective instinct. Even though I can't do this perfectly, I wouldn't want to because perfection is an illusion. Instead, I do this gently. Top of the head. I give myself permission to go slow. Eyebrow. I trust my system to know its limits. Side of the eye. Every feeling is just energy moving. Under the eye. It's okay to be exactly where I am. Under the nose. I can stay connected while I explore. Chin. My best is good enough. Collarbone. I don't have to fix anything. I'm not broken. Under the arm. I just have to be here. Okay, pause and take a nice deep breath in. Hands on your hearts if that feels comfortable and aligned. And just notice your parts. Notice your emotions. Notice how you're feeling now. And just welcome anything that you're feeling currently. Say, you can stay. You're welcome. It's okay. And we're going to meet now our first protector, our first visitor, anger. Anger is protective. It shows up when something feels unfair or unsafe, and it tells you when you need justice. So think of a recent moment when you were angry, one that's manageable in this space. Maybe someone crossed a boundary or something didn't go as you hoped. This could be a minor frustration all the way up to a rage, as long as it feels safe to you to handle in this space. And now imagine anger knocking at the door. You open it and you say, "Hello, Mad. Come on in. Tell me everything." And then on the side of your hand, even though I feel anger or I want to allow it, I respect its fire. Even though part of me judges anger, I'm willing to listen to anger today. Even though mad can feel intense, I trust its benevolence. It wants what's best for me. Top of the head. This heat in my chest. And remember, say whatever words feel true for you so you can let this be your own experience of anger. Eyebrow. This clenching energy. Side of the eye. Anger's been working overtime. Under the eye. It's tired of not being heard. Under the nose. I've tried to push it away. I usually push it away. Chin. But it's a part of me. Collarbone. And it's showing me what matters. Under the arm. It's saying, this isn't okay, or that wasn't okay, or I'm not okay right now. And I welcome these messages from my body. Okay, now stop tapping. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose, and then a long, slow exhale through pursed lips, with the exhale being even longer than the inhale, like this. It's cueing your body that you're safe, even as you allow the anger, and let yourself sit with this. Ask your anger gently, what are you protecting me from? If you're feeling the intensity and you want to keep tapping on your collarbone or the side of your hand, that's totally fine. Staying tuned into the sensations of anger. Ask it, what do you want me to know? And then let the answers come. Or not. It's okay. Your anger knows we're listening. Your anger knows you're here. It's okay if it's skeptical. Yeah. And just picture your anger now softening as you bring it some tea, wrap it in a blanket, and allow it to be. It doesn't have to change. It can stay mad, but it's safe with you. And then the doorbell rings. And with anger, sitting comfortably on the couch, maybe still angry, maybe softening a little, it's okay. We're going to open the door to our next visitor. So we're going to welcome sad. Sadness tells you when you need belonging, comfort, and time. Sadness helps us release. It says something mattered to me. So think of a moment recently when you felt grief, loss, or disappointment. You don't have to analyze it, just notice it. It won't be hard to remember because it felt really crappy. So just picture sad standing in that doorway now. And you say, hi, sad. Oh, I'm so glad you came. And you mean this. You're glad that sadness came. You're so glad it's here. Come in. You can sit right here. Welcome. And then you say to sadness, tell me everything. Tell me everything. And let's go to the side of our hand. Even though sadness feels heavy, I honor its purpose. Even though part of me wants to distract and move on, I can give sadness a seat at the table. Even though tears might come, they're just my body's way of letting go. Sadness, you can stay. Top of the head. This heaviness in my chest. Eyebrow. The ache of missing something or someone. Side of the eye. The tenderness of loss. How it just sneaks up. Ooh. Under the eye. Sadness reminds me what I love. Under the nose. It's the price of caring deeply. On the chin. There's no rush. Collarbone point. Tears are cleansing. Allowing is cleansing. Under the arm. I can hold sad with kindness. Stop tapping and take a nice, slow, deep breath in, same as before, in through the nose and out through pursed lips. And if it feels aligned, you can put your hands on your heart. And tuning into your sadness, ask, what are you ready to lay down? What needs to be honored or released or felt? This isn't about a story. It's about your sadness feeling seen, heard, and understood. Say to your sadness, your feelings make sense to me. Say, I know I'm really getting this. I really get how you feel this way. You can say, anyone who's been through what you've been through would feel this way. And let your sadness take that in. If yawns are coming, allow, allow, allow. And then allow sadness to snuggle up next to anger on this couch. The blanket just magically grows and becomes big enough for them both. Give sadness that warm cup of tea. Top off anger. And then you hear a knock at the door. So you open the door, and now we meet scared. The guardian. Fear shows up to keep us alive, but it can get stuck in overdrive. And then we have another word for that, anxiety. So anxiety says, I don't feel safe. Please get me someplace safe. Think of a time recently when anxiety whispered or shouted in your ear. You can even imagine it as a child version of you, wide-eyed and uncertain. And you've opened the door and you've said, hey, anxiety, come on in. You don't have to be alone. Oh, it's so scary. That was so scary. I get why you were scared. Come inside. You are welcome here. You can stay. And then let's go to the side of our hand. Even though anxiety and fear tightens my chest, I respect its purpose. Even though anxiety wants to control the future, which is so much work and not even possible. I can see that now. And I can offer comfort. Even though my anxiety feels uncomfortable, it is part of my care system. Top of the head. This tension in my body. Eyebrow. Anxiety trying to keep me safe. Working so hard. Side of the eye. Scanning for danger. Under the eye. It learned that from experience. Under the nose. I don't need to shame it. I get it now. Under the chin. I'm grateful for its efforts. I see it trying. Collarbone point. And I can remind it. We are safe now. We are safe now. Under the arm. We can breathe together. And now stop tapping, hands on heart. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, long and slow through pursed lips like this. Just allow scared to sit up on the couch, right next to anger and right next to sadness. And just check in with scared. What do you need to feel safer right now? What are you afraid might happen to me? And just let anything rise up that wants to rise up. And if anything comes, whatever comes, let anxiety know you understand. I understand. I get what you mean. I see that now. Just allow it with acceptance, no judgment, no evaluation, just acceptance. Oh, you're scared. I see that now. And then tell it. Anyone who's been through what you've been through would feel this way. And allow it to exist with all of your grace and all of your support. And as you touch the blanket, it magically grows bigger again and covers all three. Angry, sadness, and anxiety are all snuggled together on the couch. And then they all have their tea. And you're just looking at them, noticing the softening. Noticing even maybe there's a roller coaster under the blanket, but you're outside and you can contain it. This is your house and you're okay, even with all three of them visiting at the same time. And then a knock at the door. And as you open the door, you're greeted by curiosity. Curiosity is a bridge. It's the one that says, what's going on in here? Curiosity is what helps us move from anxiety into learning. Where anxiety leans away, curiosity leans in. It's the doorway to creativity. And it asks, what can I make from this? Or it just wonders about things in fanciful flights of delight. It says, satisfy me by exploring. Satisfy me through play. Now imagine Curious standing in the doorway, eyes wide, not judging, just wondering. Wondering about everything, fascinated. And you say, hi, Curious. Come on in. Show me what you see. And then let's move to the side of our hand. Even though I don't have all the answers, I welcome curiosity. Even though part of me wants certainty, I am willing to explore instead. Even though I'm learning to hold both knowing and not knowing, I am open. Top of the head. Curiosity opens a window. It opens our mind. Eyebrow. Curiosity asks instead of assuming. Side of the eye. Curiosity melts tension into interest. Under the eye. Curiosity softens my edges. Under the nose. It helps me learn from my feelings. Chin. Curiosity is humility. It connects me back to life. Collarbone. I can be curious about myself, about my emotions, about my parts. Under the arm. And I can be curious about others and the state of the world without overwhelm. Okay, stop tapping, hand on your heart, and take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose. And as you picture curiosity standing there in your foyer, just ask, what wants to be discovered right now? Curiosity is your partner on any journey of exploration. Curiosity loves to explore. What new possibilities are you pointing to, curiosity? And just let rise or come whatever comes. If nothing comes, that's okay. You cannot get this wrong. Just being here, being present, and allowing your emotions to stay is so healing. So allow curiosity to sit next to anger, sadness, and anxiety on the couch, and the magic blanket grows even stronger and warmer to hold them all as they snuggle and get to know each other, maybe even for the first time. And as you're watching them and noticing you can contain them all, anger, sadness, fear and anxiety, and curiosity. And maybe it feels like you'll burst. How can you contain even another one and yet a knock at the door? Finally, when you open the door, you meet gladness. Gladness, who spreads joy. Joy can feel risky after pain, but it's what reminds us that we're still alive. And the needs of joy are different than rest. As I mentioned, anger needs justice, sadness needs belonging and time, anxiety needs to feel safe, curiosity needs to explore, but joy just wants to spread. It needs to. The nature of joy is to enjoy, to put joy in what you do, in other people, in the between spaces. So now let's move into joy. Think of a moment recently that made you smile, even just a little bit. A small delight, a laugh, something simple. Focus on this small event, and as we tap, we are going to expand it and allow it to balloon, which should come a little bit easier than the rest because this is the nature of joy. It wants to balloon. It's happy to be here and ready to spread out like that blanket. So tuning into joy and saying, gladness, I am so glad you're here. You can definitely stay. Welcome, come in. And then tapping on the side of your hand. Even though joy feels unfamiliar after struggle, I allow a little bit of light. Even though part of me feels guilty for feeling good, I can hold both now. Even though happiness can be fleeting, joy is deeper, and I welcome it fully now. Top of the head. Glad reminds me that life continues. Thank you, gladness. Eyebrow. I can smile without betraying my pain. Side of the eye. Joy is not denial. Under the eye. Joy is medicine. Under the nose. Joy balances the weight of the world. And the chin. It is okay to feel good again. Collarbone point. Even small moments of gladness count. Under the arm. I can breathe in the light. Okay, stop tapping and take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose and a longer exhale through pursed lips. And as you tune into gladness, just let it know that it's welcome here. And say to gladness, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I allow you to spread. And then notice as joy sits next to anger, sadness, anxiety, and curiosity on your couch. And notice that joy is glowing in a way that the other emotions are not. Joy can't help it. Joy wants to spread. And that glow is starting to touch the other emotions too, because joy isn't an opposite of the other ones. Joy, like yourself, can contain them all. So just notice as all of the emotions on this couch start glowing. And you, standing apart, can watch and contain them all. So I want to take a minute here. We're going to do another round to integrate everything. But before we do, if anyone would like to share in the chat an experience they've been having either with sadness, anger, fear, curiosity, or joy, anything that's coming up for folks as we move through and get to know the 5 primary emotions. If anyone wants to share, the question would be, what's one thing you're learning about your system as you welcome emotions instead of avoid them? Yeah, emotions are energy in motion. Yes, exactly. 90 seconds. I'm noticing how much the emotions are connected to each other. Yes, so true. Anger often gives way to sadness, and fear often gives way to anger and then sadness. A lot of deep revelations and lessons. That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. It was harder to welcome these emotions than I realized. There is resistance to work on. And yet you did, right? So that's okay. This was working on that resistance in real time. It's beautiful. It is hard. We're taught not to by our culture. It's more comfortable to sit with emotions than to try to block them. That's beautiful. Yeah. That may not feel true for the first time for some people, but if you stick with it, what Bev is saying will start to feel true if it didn't immediately feel true. It will give way and it will be more comfortable to allow them in. Because the alternative is that they're banging on the doors and windows all the time and then you can't get any sleep. It was wonderful having them all together. Yeah. I noticed when I acknowledged and welcomed in the emotions, I can feel them moving around in my body. Yes, it's so true. Sometimes there can really be a visceral sense of where they each live. Sometimes you can get a sense of which ones were acquainted with each other and which ones weren't so far. That's also really interesting. Thank you, Serena. Yeah. Acceptance takes the sting out of it. Yes, exactly, Gabby. It's like they're here anyway. So, yes, exactly. I'm not a Christian, but I was a born again for a while, and there's some beautiful truths in the Bible, and one of them is the truth will set you free. Jesus said this, and to me, I take that to mean like if you're sad, you just say, "Oh, I'm sad right now," and that's so much. That takes the resistance out, and then the acceptance, as Gabby's saying, takes the sting away. The truth really does set us free. Even just the simple truth of how you feel right now in this moment. Anger was the strongest one for me. Yeah, Sean, that makes a lot of sense because anger oftentimes gets the least amount of airtime, especially with us folks in these healing and spiritual circles where we've been kind of brainwashed that anger is somehow problematic or less than. But Jesus flipped over tables. So, he had it too. They all had a lot to say. Oh, that's beautiful, Suzanne. That's great. That means there's trust there. Yeah. I've noticed that curiosity is the best cure for victimhood I have ever found. Ooh, Camille, that's beautiful. I love that. I love that. Exactly. Hey, you say, what can I make from this? This is where I am. What can I make from this now? I love that. Yeah. Even though the rational, intelligent mind understands not to get stuck, the fear and sadness remain. Getting yelled at has caused fear. Emotions feel sadness, but mind says not to take it personal. Tapping today is tapping to relieve it right now. Yeah, yeah. Asha, that's right. And it's actually, for me, what I'm sort of trying to teach here is that it's okay that they stay. Like one thing I learned in my IFS training, which I'll share with you guys, is that our parts and our emotions, because the parts contain them, they want what's best for us. And so even though they have these weird methods, if you actually say, I want to feel you right now, but can you turn down a little so that I don't get overwhelmed, so that I can actually stay with you, the emotions will agree and they will turn themselves down because they really want the light of your self energy with them. So just noticing that if it feels safe, the fear and sadness that remain, allow them, even say, you can stay. You can stay. Even after this call, you can stay. It's radical and it's different. And that's wherein the softening happens. Because in fact, the emotions don't want to stay. So over time, the more we let them stay, the more we allow them to stay, they're eventually going to go, well, I've kept you long enough and I should be moseying. And you're gonna be like, oh, but you didn't drink your tea. So they're gonna know, they're gonna realize like you're needy. You want me to stay so much. You're just trying to keep me here because they're going to feel so welcomed that they're going to soften and they're going to leave. So it's all right if it feels safe to allow them to stay. The key seems to always be in the moment now. Absolutely right. The present moment is all there ever really is. So the past and the future are illusions. So absolutely everything, the juice is in the present moment. There's no doubt about that, Camille. That's beautiful. I'm doing a lot of IFS work right now, and it pairs well with tapping. I love these tapping rounds. Yeah, Sean, that's great. I'm actually developing something called the S.H.I.F.T model, which is somatic, holistic, internal family tapping, which is a combination of EFT and IFS. So stay tuned for more on that. Um, could feel how much each wanted to be present with me and calmed immensely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is beautiful, everybody. I'm so glad that this is what's happening. Yeah. It's so radical to say you can stay. Usually we want to say, I paid all this money in therapy so you would go. I spent thousands of dollars to get rid of you, anxiety. But it doesn't work that way. So you can stay. You can stay. Yeah. So what I'd like to do now is we're going to do another round of tapping, one final round. And don't worry if you have more that you want to put in the chat, that's fine. We will go back to the chat. And even some people can come on mic if you want to say something at the end here. But let's dive into an integration round and really bring the energy of our self. So go ahead on the side of your hand. And this is the undamaged, undamageable core of peace at the center of who you are, that everybody has, that everybody is. So imagine all five of your emotions now: mad, sad, glad, scared, and curious, gathering around you like old friends. You're at the center, the host of the house, the guest house, as Rumi would say. Even though emotions come and go, I am the one who can welcome them all. Even though some are loud, some are quiet, they all belong. Even though I sometimes forget, I am the space where it all unfolds. Top of the head. I can be with what's here. I am compassion. I am curiosity. I am calm and I am courage. Eyebrow. Each emotion serves a purpose. Side of the eye. Emotions are guidance. They are guides, not enemies. Under the eye. I can listen. I can feel and stay grounded. Under the nose. I can trust my wholeness. Chin. I'm not broken. I am multifaceted. Collarbone. I am the host, not the house guest. I can welcome all my guests with clarity, with confidence, with playfulness, and with perspective. Under the arm. All of me is welcome here. Now stop tapping. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel your feet, feel your seat, feel your heartbeat. And then take a nice deep breath through the nose and a long, slow exhale through pursed lips. These emotions are your friends. They come bearing messages. The way people would bring a bottle of wine, they bring a bottled up emotion. And they leave when they're heard. When the wine has been drank and merriment ensues, they go. So you can always open the door when they knock. Anytime they knock, get a little tipsy with your emotions. So what you have just practiced is emotional friendship using the S.H.I.F.T model. This is one of the most radical acts of self-compassion that there is. So I just want to say thank you so much. It's such a privilege and an honor to be here with all of you. So yeah, what I would like to ask now, we have like 8 minutes left with this time. So is there anyone that would be interested in coming on to the mic and sharing about your experience? Super no pressure for this. I want to leave an open space for you guys. So if anybody does want to share verbally, just put up your digital hand so I know, and then I'll allow you to unmute. As well as that, while we're waiting to see if anyone wants to volunteer and do that, and again, no pressure, feel free to put in the chat what's coming up for you now in relation to this emotional friendship, the befriending of your primary five in the guest house of who you are. Love the process and how you facilitate. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I love this process too. Camille, my emotions are my servants or my slave masters. My child. Wow, Camille, you keep having these little mic drop comments. Like, do you have a blog? I hope so. Yeah, that's a beautiful one. My emotions are my servants or my slave masters. My choice. That's right. And they honestly, they want to be your servants. But if you don't make friends with them and let them know that, they think they have to protect you by cracking, being the masters and telling you what to do. So yeah, yeah. But they're relieved when we relieve them of duty. Truly. The befriending, such a huge shift in mindset. Yeah, absolutely. I know it's so big. Um, yeah, yeah. Befriending our mind is a lifelong journey. There's another technique you can use and just give your mind a name. So give your mind a name. I call my mind Buster. And that allows you to put some distance in. This was beautiful. I've been trying to get away from strong emotions all day. Ha, it's a relief to turn around and just be with them. Yeah, exactly. Either we're being chased or we're hugging. Like, I don't know which one is more regulating, right? Being chased or turning around and hugging. Yeah. Camille, mic drop. Come on. Yeah. What would you like to say?
All those things that we try to repress because we're uncomfortable with them for whatever the reasons, often because at some vulnerable age, we were told they were unacceptable, that they were weird, they were difficult, they were wrong, whatever. We learn these patterns and they become the monsters in our closets. You're all familiar, with little kids and their monsters in the closet. The problem is that monster in the closet is what runs our lives until we throw that closet door open and allow them to come in and just be present with them. Like you say, make friends with them. That is a principle that I think is so important to hang on to. What you repress is what ultimately is going to run your life.
Yeah.
So be friends.
Yeah, Camille, thank you. You're reminding me, it's like the Wizard of Oz, like the dude behind the curtain who we ignore and pretend isn't there is running the whole show. But he's just a dude behind a curtain that doesn't have any magical powers. And so he really is not equipped to be running the whole show. And that's how our emotions feel. And I love your monster in the closet analogy too. These are so great. Whatever imagery works for you folks, take any one of these or all of these. Yeah. Camille, thank you so much for sharing that. That was great. On the last round of integration, I realized the importance of welcoming the emotions because they are all part of us. If we deny one, we are denying a part of who we are. Yes, exactly. That's the truth shall set you free. The truth is, ooh, I feel guilty right now. Ooh, I feel angry right now. Ooh, I feel blindsided right now. That's just the truth. And in that moment of just admitting that to ourselves, it's liberating. There's already a softening right there. As a coach or counselor, it seems like we can only hold space for our clients' emotions to the extent that we can befriend our own feelings. Yes, exactly. In IFS, we even say, like, if we have to lead with our self energy in the room, and if not, then it's just parts trying to help other parts through therapy. So yeah, absolutely. We have to be able to bring ourself online and know our own feelings. Thank you for this wonderful session. Very helpful, beautiful. Oh, Kelly, go ahead. Have a blessed night. Yeah, we're done in just a few minutes here anyway. Blessings to you also. So we are about to run out of time. So I'm just going to put in the chat here. That was the topic for this evening. That's just a little bit about me. There's my website. There's my podcast. The Healing Alchemy Journal it's just a little booklet I made. It has 31 writing prompts that are based on Dr. Pennebaker's trauma writing. So what they do is they allow you to touch into something that you're feeling and write about it. And the research shows that if you do 20 minutes of this type of writing a day for about 5 or 6 days, the things that you're writing about start to drain, the charge starts to drain out of them. So that's a way to do an expressive trauma writing thing. It will take you a month. It's a 31 prompts. So if you're interested in that, you can download the Healing Alchemy Journal. That's all I have to say. I just wanted you guys to experience this, befriending your emotions, because it's radical, it's countercultural, it seems impossible, but it's actually the way forward. This is how we can reconnect to our creative genius, which NASA says we all have. So you're all creative geniuses, and this is how you get back to it. Any final questions or thoughts? We do have 2 more minutes if anyone has anything. Yes, thank you so much. You have to go. That's great. Richard, great to see you. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. Just a lot of thank yous. Thank you, everybody, too. This was such an honor for me. I will see you at a tapping circle in the near future. Have an awesome holiday season.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, many blessings. If you all want to unmute and we can just sort of like say thank you and enjoy our voices in the room, that would be fine. You can say my emotions are welcome or whatever you want. So go ahead and unmute if that feels aligned and just like wish each other well. I love you, healing community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank
soul.
you.
Love you all.
All beings be happy.
Bye,
Bless
everyone.
you.